What's going on, YouTube? Anthony at Ontario Firewood Resource. I'm here in the wood yard and I got my first delivery for the season, and figures it's a little hot, so I'm gonna be a little sweaty doing this, but I was here till 7 a.m. last night cleaning up the pile and got it nice and arranged here so that I could dump this load. I've been dwindling down this pile, not just to you know, get it processed, but also so that I could get access to all my dry wood, because I have a couple crates here. It actually might not be dry yet, but all my dry wood, the rest of it is all in the back here or on the side. So the further I can get the truck back in here, then that makes it easier to load. And I can't even use the conveyor to load because there's so much wood in here. So that's what I've been doing. And I got this load of apple on and some white oak, and I got to dump this, and then I'm going to load up for the delivery. I haven't actually done video of dumping any wood from my truck for months because I'm so busy here that sometimes I don't even have time to set up the camera. I just got to bring in the truck and I got to go. So I'll get the camera set up and I'll dump the load. Okay, there's a face cord. Looks about right. I thought it might be a little bit more, but no, not really. Yeah, looks like it's good to go. I'm just pulling up to this customer's house in a second here. And this is an area right beside the river valley. So it's tucked away from the main roads. And it's got this windy street, and this is all a dead end here. And just to the right of me is where the river is. And there's all kinds of trail systems back here as well. And this customer, I asked him if he wanted to be on film. He said he wouldn't mind, but not today. He's been following the channel. He's a new customer. I've never met him before. But I'm going to get the camera set up in a second. And let's see, there's one of the trails there. And yeah, I'm gonna dump this load, and then I'm gonna pull out some wood on the tailgate and do some wood ID.
You've reached your destination.
Number 212, right here. Alright, got the camera set up. It's a little tricky here. I haven't even checked the footage of when I dumped that apple and oak in the yard, because I saw the cameras on an angle after. I'm using bungee cords to tie it to my wooden board up here. and the cylinder tower might have pushed it out of the way last time, so. Okay, so what ID? There's only one piece of cherry in here, and then there's red oak, and you can tell red oak because you see these light colored rays, not the cracking of the wood itself, but these light colored rays. This one isn't the best example, but there's one there, there's one there, another few there, and that's how you can tell any type of oak, but red oak specifically. It's a little hard to tell, but if you were to peel off the bark and look inside the bark and look on the sapwood, it looks like somebody took a razor blade and they made a bunch of dotted lines going down beside each other. And that's a good way to tell red oak. This is black locust. You can tell by the thick ribbing on the bark, and it tends to cross like X's when you look at a black locust tree. Very distinct. It's got the yellow heartwood, and this is sugar maple. And sugar maple tends to have smooth bark, and when they get mature, you can see ridges on them. It'll actually develop that 3D characteristic, but all the ridges of the bark, they won't be symmetrical. Like say for example this, you could see that it's symmetrical and very distinct. That doesn't happen with sugar maple. Sometimes it just looks like a big piece of bark. It's kind of lifted up on the side, and you can kind of tuck your finger in there. So I call them like folds, and you know, you could see one here, one there, one there. You can see how it's just starting to form here. Nothing really symmetrical. Let me turn it around so you can get in the sun. So you see, not much. You know, it's not really doing anything uniform or anything like that, right? This one is mulberry, which is yellow on the inside, but when it dries, it gets that kind of I don't know, burgundy, orange, brown kind of color. This is American elm, and you see how it's very stringy? That's a good giveaway of American elm. This is ash, these two pieces here. And you can tell ash because it's like you could see kind of like ribbing on the inside, and you see just like a darker hue between each rib. Right, this is the wood they use to make baseball bats. This is white oak. Now how you tell this bark is it grows pretty symmetrical, but sometimes it can look not so symmetrical, all the bark ridges, but it's got that silvery color. And then you can see that actually this piece, you can really see the rays on this wood. It hasn't really cracked this wood, but you can see the rays on it, and you can see the brown sapwood, and then you can see the lighter colored heartwood. And there's another piece of white oak as well. And there again, you see some more rays. No cracking on this really too. And then this one is a different one for a lot of people. Some people don't know, a lot of people don't know what this is. This is called Siberian elm, and it tends to grow craggly at the upper ends of the limbs, and they have that shape where they go up and then they just fork out like a Y instead of like a tree that has the big wide crown. And here's the bark on that as well. So now we'll compare this to the American elm, and you could see it almost looks identical actually. But anyways, that's the wood ID. So every once in a while it can be hard to distinguish what's what, but that's it basically. Anyways guys, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and all that good stuff.